It's Wednesday afternoon on the radio and on Spotify. You know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Saga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show, and you can follow me at Lex Tan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok and Patreon. And we've got a three-man ring crew here today. So let's introduce them right off the bat. For those of you watching on YouTube, well, eventually once I get the last couple of episodes up, I've been kind of lagging on that, but I'm going to get those YouTube episodes up soon. Beside me over in the center panel is the man from Nova Scotia. He is our AEW expert, our Godzilla movie expert as well. You can follow his Godzilla podcast at KanjiraCast. His name is Colin Dodge. You can follow him at Risen72 because he also streams video games for Twitch in support of sick kids and Extra Life. Colin, welcome to the show.
What's going on? Residing in Nova Scotia from Toronto, yes. But yes.
By way, yes.
He just gave away your location, Colin. You're gonna have to move now.
Yeah, I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque for sure. So,
wow,
that Warner Brothers days, yeah.
Wow, that's what's up. Anyway,
still kicking, still watching AEW, still begrudgingly watching WWE, and yeah, I have thoughts and opinions. We'll get to that.
Of course, I mean
that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. We wouldn't be doing a radio show and podcast and YouTube show if we didn't have thoughts and opinions. But then again, there's a lot of those thoughts and opinions out there in the universe that really are that really don't need air. But hey, we get
mine
it.
Do. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. All of ours do.
There we go. Oh yeah, you guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Over on the right side panel over here, if you're watching on YouTube, is our wrestling memorabilia and collection expert. He is found at Coco Collects on YouTube, or sorry, on his social media, and he's the guy that's responsible for me now owning a baseball card, a Topps baseball card of the brand new Pope. His name is Chico Nuggets.
Oh my goodness! Of all the things to bring up on a wrestling show,
hey, sports. It is the sports.
Okay, all right. Well, great to be back. It's been a couple weeks for me, but glad to come back on here and talk about some wrestling. RASSLIN. That's wrestling.
Where was that from again?
It's an old song that was part of a program, I think at NWA or something.
Okay.
They do reference it every single Sunday on another radio show, the number one radio show in pro wrestling, in fact. Mm-hmm. It's just such an amusing, old, cheesy pro wrestling tune. I don't remember which wrestler did it, but it was just one of those cheesy things that's just part of pro wrestling lore. That's kind of a deep dive for some people, but more of old school fans, like NWA fans.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm pretty sure we could find that because I believe we did find that previously, maybe a year or two ago, somewhere on YouTube. But
I wonder if it's like public domain that you can use it even. I don't know. Just to play that clip.
It would be interesting.
So
it would be interesting. I mean, SoCan rules are different from whatever it is in the United States anyway. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll find we could find that out. But first off, let's go start it off by talking a little bit of WWE. Then we're gonna get into some AEW and see what the status of All In is right now. On the way, the next couple of weeks to the big shows over in Texas, and I want to start it off over here with talking about the John Cena, CM Punk, the reverse pipe bomb, for lack of a better term right now. And I see Colin over here already rubbing his hands together because he wants to get right into this. So let's go and take it to Colin. Tell me about what you thought of the John Cena reverse pipe bomb on CM Punk.
All right, you know how you're really excited to watch a new trailer for like a movie or a video game? If you're like me, The Witcher 4 tech demo video came out a couple weeks ago, and game looks amazing. I can't wait for it. Mm-hmm. And so you're watching this and you're enjoying it, and then there's that it just skips right into a commercial and there's nothing you can do about it, like right at a pivotal thing, and it takes you right out of it. Well, I'm watching the recreation of one of the greatest spots, 14 years ago or something like that, 7 years ago, whatever it was. And Then there's a little pop-up and it says Slim Jim on that friggin' table. Really?
Point that out.
That's all I could look at was that damn logo. Oh, God. Nothing is sacred. But then, then we listened to the promo itself. Then I listened to the promo itself. And it's callbacks. It's just callbacks. It's nothing new. So this promo was Anchorman 2.
Ah, interesting.
It could have been good. The final nail in the coffin, he edited himself on,
Fudging.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard. It's not exactly what he said, but
Mother
actually,
fudging.
Mother Hubbard is actually worse. And,
I remember hearing something about fudge.
and then I look at Collision. Toni Storm didn't edit herself. She let the network take care of that. So if you're going to say one word, why not say the other? Go for broke. This is not a heel turn. It's still PG-13 Cena. And I didn't see anything new. There's so much that could have been done with this run. So many better callbacks. What we had talked about earlier with The Rock doing to Cody, what Stone Cold and Vince did to him. They could have recreated that perfectly instead of the weird hand signals and the terrible person who shouldn't be in the ring knocking somebody out. That could have been handled better. And so they're so close to doing something new, but it was just callbacks. Believe me, I'm all about nostalgia. It's 45% of what I talk about on this show is remember this, remember that. So I know that, but it's just, you just said the same line but reversed, and then it kept getting interrupted by a Slim Jim ad.
Would you also, now here's a question for you. Have you seen Star Trek Into Darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how would you say that movie handled callbacks to original Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, in that in that sense? And how would you compare that with the way that it wasn't effective when the way John Cena was doing it?
Okay, I have to think about that for a second. I wasn't prepared for Star Trek Into Darkness.
That's an interesting.
I just came up with it on the spot, honestly. Like it was just like a thought that came to mind, bing, and then it beamed over to you. So
yeah, no, because it provided a slightly alternate take, right, and it delved more into the darkness of the Federation side with what triggered it, and it made Khan, or it developed more how Khan was more of a victim of the situation as well. Now, he turned completely evil and went nuts, just like in the original one, and in this one too. But it wasn't only him to blame. And they explored that more with what was his name? Peter Weller. He was RoboCop. Anyway, he was the head. He was the head bad guy
with Robert. Yeah.
The
Admiral guy.
He was the Admiral. Yes.
Yeah. He was the Admiral. So it explored the darkness of the Federation side that created the situation and kind of kept it going too. So in terms of it's an interesting comparison though. I do like that. In terms of this, instead of just I'm coming with a critique and I'm not coming with a solution. So, hands up on that one. That's true. I didn't come up with something, but I'm just going, I don't like this. It sucks. So, I look at me on the internet. So I get that and I understand that. And I didn't think about what I would have done instead, but I don't know, just something a bit more. Like I know Cena can think on his feet. I know, I would hope, the writers, which apparently is going to be a show now, how they write the show. They're just tearing down any kind of fourth wall. So I expected so much more. I mean, if The Rock is back, then isn't Gewurtz back? Like, give him part of this or something? Like, I don't know. I don't have the solution, so I do apologize for not having what I would do instead. But it was just a callback. Even the three people he mentioned were the same from the WrestleMania 29 thing that punked it. The exact same three people. So why not three different people? Call out AJ Lee. Why not? That makes it more interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, she had one of the best lines that didn't need to be censored, which was, what was it? I'm going to paraphrase now because I don't remember it exactly, but
talking to Nikki about like her relationship with John Cena and how like
both of the Bellas, how wrestling skills are not sexually transmitted.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, what a callback right there.
Those are all proper words and damning.
Yes.
So I mean, if you can do that and be as hard hitting as that was without swearing, without mother hubbarding your line when you say another swear word earlier, like if you're gonna do it, do it. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. He undercut himself by the end of it, I think. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're still not sure what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I don't think.
Well, Chico, what say you?
I'm on a completely different part of the spectrum than Colin. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I will, however, say that it did not land as hard, not nearly as hard as the original. Of course, the original, in a lot of forms of entertainment, the original tends to stand tall over remakes. Not always the case, but in this case, definitely. The June 27, 2011 Las Vegas Monday Night Raw Pipebomb was way better than the June 20, 2025 Grand Rapids, Michigan Retaliation Full Circle Pipebomb, I guess, or Little Firecracker, whatever you want to call it, right? No, it was. I wouldn't.
Gilberg.
Yeah, I wouldn't name it as the Gilberg of Goldberg kind of thing. I think that it still hit pretty hard, and I think it was a much needed conversation starter in what has, to many people, been a mostly lackluster heel run for John Cena. I think he's still a heel, but he's also still a cartoon. And I think that he's in need of some grit, and this was him going for it. And I think he kind of almost sadly, I think that's about as far as the real John Cena can get. So it was as far as he has gotten so far. I think that it was pretty neat how he called back to Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, and Zack Ryder, but in their current names in the company that is not WWE, that, in an era where they don't work for WWE right now. So that part of it I liked. I liked that it was full circle. I liked that John Cena did not sit cross-legged on top of the entrance ramp, but instead he sat on the top turnbuckle looking down.
They had to get Slim Jim in the shot, so,
No, but I like that because it asserted his pompousness and elitism as the greatest of all time, that they've labeled him, that he's now using as part of his heel run. I will still say, though, it is the comparing to CM Punk's original, that was kind of more vanilla. But I did like it. It's something that's where Colin and I would differ. I think John Cena's heel run needed it, where I will kind of agree a little bit more with what I assume Colin thinks, is that all of this is a very rushed push for what looks like just a single match between the two, which is unfortunate because it was one of the greatest rivalries of both men, their careers. And I think it warrants more than just one build to have a match at a place where really it shouldn't count. However, it is gonna.
I mean, they could have been sniping at each other this whole time, but don't touch for months. You know what I mean? Yeah, that could have been easy. Just slide comments in here and there. Both of them are amazing at that. So this could have been teased for a while, and then finally the payoff. Regardless, in the world of what's happening, this is the wrong pay-per-view to do it at anyway. Not only a Night of Champions, but location. You're cutting off the majority of the fans who would want to see this live, going to another country, despite whatever the country is. But this,
right?
Yeah.
And you know, I do like what you said there, Colin. It's for it to be like, you know, politics aside, putting it in Saudi Arabia, that is a little bit of a disservice in my mind for John Cena and CM Punk 3, because it has to be either in Canada or the United States for me, personally speaking. It could have been at SummerSlam. I think I think you could have worked at SummerSlam myself.
That's a big 4 match. If you're not going to wait till Mania, obviously you can't. But that's a big 4.
Yeah. For all we know, it could still, but it should have been at SummerSlam. I agree with you guys on that.
And it
could still go there, but it looks like a one-off. I don't know.
And it would have given a little bit more of a build, because honestly, like, and I've said this before on the show before, is that I honestly believe that John Cena and CM Punk could have been The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, the next generation, because they both have a lot of great parallels between the two of them. And it's not to say that, like, you know, the story that has developed in real life and in kayfabe hasn't worked well for both of those guys leading up to this match. It's just, yes, it is a bit rushed. It has been it's in the wrong venue. It is in the wrong place in the wrong time, which we'll get into a little bit later, because this is a match that I have been looking forward to. I honestly believe, based on what they gave us back in the early 2000s, that they brought out the best in each other. It was John Cena versus CM Punk number 2. Cena somehow pulled off a Hurricane Rana, yeah, exactly, and that was for a Raw match. They should have taken that to WrestleMania, and unfortunately, things happened the way it did. And that should have been CM Punk's main event at WrestleMania. You didn't have to wait all these years for that to happen, but unfortunately, the way it is the way it is. And
tantrums happen, I guess.
Yes. However, to counter that,
hi, Cole Cabana.
Whose podcast is he going to go on now? Oh, well.
Ours!
I'll bring him on the Godzilla one. Yeah.
Yes. But I will actually say this, though. Because of that pipe bomb, or because of the, you know, pipe sparkler, or whatever, the sparkler bomb, or whatever or however you want to nomenclature it, I actually do now want to see what's going to happen at Night of Champions. I wasn't planning on watching it because it's during the day. I know I'm busy during the day, and I believe that, and I already have things planned for the afternoon and the evening already on that day. So I wasn't planning on watching it myself. However, now I actually do kind of feel like I want to make time, maybe after it airs, to actually sit down and watch the show, and maybe not the whole show, maybe just the Cena and Punk match, because that's something I've been clamoring for since 2011.
Well, I'll watch all of it. It won't be in the moment, because yes, I definitely have plans all day Saturday. And so I can't watch it right at 1 p.m. Eastern when it's airing. If it was most other Saturdays, or half the other Saturdays in the year, I think I would watch it live. I'm intrigued enough to watch some of those things. I mean, I want to see Asuka versus Jade Cargill, even though I really think it's Jade Cargill's time to take this tournament as Queen of the Ring. Mm-hmm. I want to see. Who's the other side of that? Cody versus Randy.
That's going to be a good one. Yeah.
Finals for King of the Ring. Either one could win in my eyes, even though Randy's like kind of super old now. But he's still a tank. Actually, more of a tank than ever, I think. Mm-hmm. I do want to see those matches, and I will watch. I just probably can't watch it live. I'm intrigued enough. I do want to see Cena versus Punk number 3, or whatever you said it was. It's been a long time since 2011 and 2013. So I just wish there's something like with Punk and Cena, something could be done to make it better. But this is what we have right now. And well, it's enough to make me watch. So I'm somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, there's Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the United States Championship.
Destroy him, Jacob. Destroy him. And Jeff Cobb, or whatever his name is now. Yeah.
I think
JC Mateo.
Sure, whatever.
I honestly think Jacob Fatu destroyed Solo Sikoa the moment he debuted in WWE. So.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been destroying him ever since. Now it's just going to be an official match. I guess.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, and Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross's first WWE PLE match in a long time, actually.
Oh my goodness, he's been ripping it up on Main Event.
Oh, don't get me started on what they're doing to
Yeah,
Cross.
hey, you know what?
Just like what they're doing to Finn Balor. Oh.
No, hold on. But Cross has stuck with it, and he's used his social media platforms for his career advancement. So kudos on that guy.
Oh, of course.
Even if Creative's been fumbling the ball on Karrion Kross and Scarlett, for that matter, he's done the work himself, and he's gotten support. And I don't know if you heard the pop on Monday Night Raw, but when Karrion Kross confronted Sami Zayn backstage, it was a loud reaction for Karrion Kross. He got the heat. So I hope that WWE took note of that, and they know that there could be money there, but they got to play it right because they screwed up a few times already with Kross. So I don't know what they got left.
I just don't want him to get Zack Ryder. I don't want Kane to push him off the stage while he's in a wheelchair. That's all I want.
Wow.
Protect this man. See,
wow.
45% nostalgia, people. I know what I'm talking about.
See, people, we do remember the things that you probably forgot. I definitely forgot that.
I wanted to forget, yeah.
Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM. We'll be back after these promotional considerations, but when we do return, we'll talk about the developments in AEW as we move into All In the next couple of weeks. And that is going to be courtesy of your man, Colin Dodge, right there in the middle panel of the YouTube page. Back after this.
Under all the lights, with only everyone, he's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, as well as on YouTube, at least when I get the videos finally up there and edited. My name is Lex Tan, host and producer. Lex10 Media is where you can find me online. At Ringside_Heat is where you can find the show. I'm alongside Colin Dodge. You can find him at Risen72 and his Godzilla podcast at KanjiraCast. And Chico Nugid, our wrestling memorabilia expert at Coco Collects is where you can find him. As well, he is our TNA expert. So I believe that he's come across some news as we're recording this. Yes, we are recording this the night before on June the 24th and it's about 9:30 in the evening right now. So while we're recording this, but breaking news from Chico, at least in this moment.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so assuming the role of Wednesday 2 p.m. So last night on NXT, you like to do that every week. So I mean, I'm just gonna go right back to it. As of broadcast time today, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Last night on NXT, it was. I don't know if it was officially announced, but we have heard that Joe Hendry, I still believe in Joe Hendry, by the way.
I certainly do as well.
He will get his big world title rematch for the TNA World Championship against Trick Williams at TNA Slammiversary on Sunday, July 20. Yes, a Sunday PLE. Or pay-per-view, or PLE because they're in partnership with WWE. I really don't know. But yes, so Joe Hendry has a chance to bring the TNA World title back home. And just a quick other couple of mentions. Leon Slater is challenging Moose for the X Division Championship, and Leon Slater, who's been coming up in the pro wrestling world, actually, he has the chance to become the youngest ever X Division champion, and that is probably TNA's biggest show every year, Slammiversary, that and Bound for Glory, right? So Slammiversary would be a good place to make history for young Leon Slater. And lastly, I just want to say that I've been watching some commercials for WWE 2K25. Not that I ever have a current gaming system ever in my life, but it looks like some of the downloadable content for the WWE video game is none other than the former TNA performer Abyss. Abyss, yes.
Okay.
Wow. Did crickets just come to the radio?
Yes.
Does nobody respect the name of Abyss, who is now a backstage producer in WWE? Come on, people.
Well, we do remember the things that we probably forgot, and I forgot.
Yeah. I'm sorry for all of you who remember Abyss, but clearly my colleagues here have a great disrespect for the very much taller, mankind-looking wannabe Abyss. I'm just kidding. That's me.
Wow.
No, but Abyss, he of the Monsters Ball stipulation, of course.
Christopher Joseph Park, known by his ring name Abyss.
But why did you have to look that up? It's Abyss, man.
I said, hey, we remember the things that you probably forgot, and I don't know who this person is.
You didn't even know.
I did not even know.
You didn't even forget. You just didn't
know.
Not
at all. It never crossed my mind. But hey, congratulations. Yeah, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Either way.
What else you got?
Thank you for the TNA news there, Chico. We're going to go and switch gears and get to the AEW developments as we head into AEW All In, courtesy of our AEW expert, Colin Dodge. So something I heard about, I guess I heard that I was saying this before off the air, but a friend of the show, Bia Moss, she wrestles for the Indies here in Ontario, and she's also wrestled in dark matches for MLPW at Maple Leaf Gardens and other places. So it's great. It's great that she's doing that. One of the previous time I saw her, she was wearing four belts around her waist and
and shoulders.
And her shoulders, yeah, just so much gold, so much gold, and great on her and everything. But apparently, Mercedes is now 6 belts, which totally outdoes what Bia has done so far.
Hey, I think I know who that is. It kind of looks a little bit like this person.
Looks familiar.
Yeah, she can't be stopped. I'm actually just quickly trying to get a lookup of all 6 of them, but anyway, the newest one is the CML Women's World Championship, and of course she's the TBS champion. Wait a minute, I think I've got it here. Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion, EWA Women's Champion, and it's listed here the Owen Hart Cup 2025 champion. I mean, which is true. I have to recall, has she been carrying? They get belts. I can't remember. She's been carrying that around as well. And I think I want to say New Japan Strong, or she might have just lost that one. I know she lost one of them.
I think she got another one, though.
Picked up a couple more. So
yeah. So yeah, there's 6. She's 6 belts Money right now, from what I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely 6, but yeah.
Yeah. She beat.
Well, you know what? You people let us know.
Well, that's what the social media is for. Yeah. So just hit us up on Ringside.
Let us know how I screwed up and didn't name them all. So yeah, come on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the most recent one, like Colin and Lex were referencing, Mercedes Moné beat Zeuxis at last week's AEW Grand Slam Mexico at the world famous Arena Mexico, which I know nothing about. Colin.
I mean, this is something else that AEW is happily teaching me about wrestling I just didn't know about. Yeah, go back and watch it. If you didn't watch Grand Slam Mexico at Arena Mexico, it was fun. The crowd was on fire the entire night. They were waiting for this whole night, an extremely fun. I mean, it felt like a pay-per-view, but it was a hell of a dynamite, that's for sure. Only 6 matches, but they let all their matches breathe. Actually, Mercedes' matches, I was talking about it during the break, how hers was actually the shortest, only 9.5 minutes. But it didn't feel too short. It didn't feel too long. It was a complete match from what I saw. Biggest pop of the night, Samoa Joe. It was his Arena Mexico debut. They've been waiting forever for everybody's favorite Samoan. Sorry, Roman. Samoa Joe to appear.
Their favorite Samoan named Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of matches. There was a tag team match, and then there was also a 10-man tag match to end the night. And of course, Mercedes match, hologram, big ticket match with Mystico and MJF. Mystico did defeat MJF. It was a singles match, even though, of course, the rest of the Hurt Syndicate, I almost named it the wrong thing, Hurt Syndicate was there.
Is it DQ, right? Is it a DQ that enabled?
No, it was, it was a DQ. And then MJF did unmask Mystico. So the greatest of insults did occur in Arena
The disrespect.
Mexico.
Wow.
Exactly. Oh yeah,
it's been a while since that. Like it's been a long time since I've heard of an unmasking.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that it was an unmasking that unveiled his face to the world. It was just him swiping the mask and embarrassing him, right?
Yeah.
And that is
a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a mask stipulation. He just kind of he made it to that I was gonna say his WWE name. It just made it so that Mystico had to cover up real quick and save himself from further embarrassment.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was a great match. That went 16 minutes 48 seconds, and that was fantastic. MJF continuing to prove he's not a flash in the pan. He's definitely a fantastic wrestler. Him and Mystico did really well.
Yes, an actual D move from MJF to Mystico.
There you go.
That was so funny. I didn't watch the show, but I did see that one clip on Instagram.
Yeah.
Love it or hate it. I mean, he's pulled off so many D moves, and that was a literal one to the face of Mystico.
Oh wow. Jeez. Okay.
Just walked right into his head.
There are memes all over the place with it.
Yeah.
You thought Daniel Garcia was bad with that dance. Nope. MJF, much worse.
And I you know what too? I will throw this in too. I loved that MJF wore a fantastically cheesy American flag outfit that was just really meant to heel it up,
Oh, it was the opening song of Team America. That's what that outfit was.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what that felt like. Yes,
that's exactly what that felt like. Yes, and if you know, you know. It's go look that up, folks. That's relative today. Anyway, so that match was fantastic to watch. The 4 million pesos 4-way match.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, the winner of the match gets 4 million pesos.
Oh, geez, hell.
Yep. So that was Hologram versus Leo Rush versus Mascara Dorada versus Ricochet. And Ricochet, oh my God. You want to talk about successful heel turns. Being everybody's whipping boy during that match, super fun. And he's running away with this whole bit of his. It's fantastic. Him and Hologram, of course, tore it up. Leo Rush always does really well, too. And that was 15 and a half minutes as well. And Hologram with a big win. I think it's about 130,000 American.
I've actually got the numbers over here as of the recording. 4 million Mexican pesos, it equals $210,747 dollars and 5 cents.
Maybe 130 is Canadian.
In Canadian, $289,203.08.
Nice.
And you know what? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind competing for 4 million pesos as well. So.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. As for the big matches, the show opened with the big 14-man tag team match. So,
I'm sorry, how many?
14 men, so 7 versus 7. Give me a second here. Okay, good guy team.
Moly.
Adam Cole, Atlantis Jr., Bandito, Brody King, Daniel Garcia, and Templaro, defeating Dax Harwood and the Don Callis family, which consisted of Hechichiro, Josh Alexander, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Lance Archer. Also, Valador Jr. was there, and Stokely was there, because why not?
I'm sorry to say, but Lance Archer's still there.
Lance Archer is still there. He's part of the Don Callis family.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the big acquisition of Josh Alexander, a favorite Canadian wrestler, and he's just one of Callis's goons. So I'm I like seeing Josh Alexander, but they put him with the goon squad. But what can you do?
Oh boy. Well,
At
can't win
least,
them all.
though, at the very least, he is the very first MLPW Canadian national champion.
There you go. There you go. So,
I
but
mean, I
always
can't
good
wait
to see-
for them. I cannot wait for MLP to come back to Toronto. I think
Yeah.
that was an enjoyable night, and I'm looking forward. Yes, also to Josh Alexander representing as the men's champ in MLP. Can't wait.
Oh, of course. Also notable in that match, of course, Brody King's T-shirt, which everybody loved, and you can go look that up. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And
Fair enough.
so, then the final match of the night was the 10-man tag, which was the Beast Mortos and Mortos and the Death Riders. Along with the Young Bucks and, of course, Marina Shafir running around. They did defeat the Ops, which, of course, is Samoa Joe making his Arena Mexico debut to incredible fanfare, pop of the night, I think. Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata, along with Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. The Death Riders did win out with that one. But super fun match. Everybody getting their spot. And,
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend going back to watch it.
And I guess in the what is this, the gossip section of Ringside Heat, not really the gossip section, it is confirmed that the Beast Mortos and Mercedes Moné are an item.
Interesting.
It is confirmed. I think
Muzzle.
TMZ Sports confirmed that. Anyway, there you go.
There you go.
Oh.
I had no idea. So
Well, in the words of The Rock, wishing Rusev and Lana well, Mazel.
sure.
I had forgotten about that fact.
Before we go to break, actually, here's something about it. One AEW story that I came across over here. According to Fightful.com, there were major creative plans in place for FTR following Dynasty. It was rumored that Cope would reunite with Christian Cage to face FTR at All in Texas, but the potential match is apparently being delayed. Fightful noted that Christian is reportedly not ready to end his current storyline with the patriarchy and that he's invested his time into. Yeah. During the June 21st edition of AEW Collision, Christian delivered a promo about wanting to team with Nick Wayne to pursue a tag team title opportunity, and it is believed that Cope's extended absence from AEW was not anticipated, and there were internal discussions about having him return at Double or Nothing. Currently, it's unclear whether AEW will proceed with a Cope and Christian reunion. Now, do you want to see Adam Copeland or Cope and Christian Cage reunite one last time in AEW at the expense of the patriarchy?
Yes, because the patriarchy will need to end. It should have a conclusion, and Christian wants that conclusion to be him versus Nick Wayne. And so on Collision, Christian declared his desire for him and Nick Wayne to be tag team championships. And so that's the journey they are going to embark on next. Mm-hmm. So that will either, though I honestly can't see them defeating the Syndicate, but whether it gets that far or not, but I think that's where the division will finally happen between Nick Wayne and Christian. So I think they want to wrap up that run because they're not doing anything with Kip. He's just hired goon for the sake of hired goons.
I think that they've been teasing Nick Wayne and Christian Cage for many months at this point.
They really turned it up this year, yes.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of that, and I think they don't have to wait too much longer to have that blow off. And I think they can even do it sometime before or maybe at All Out in Toronto.
Yeah, I could see it even just completing even by like November or something like that.
Okay,
maybe,
a little longer.
Or maybe even stretch it to December to the end of the year. But but no, I think a proper ENC heel run, make it a heel run, would be the best way for those two to finish together because they started together and so they should finish together. But yeah, they got to do the heel run.
Well, I will say that I don't know if I totally agree with that just based on the circumstances that I'm observing from an outsider's point of view. FTR just turned heel recently, and I think they're going to be like that for a while. And I would think that was at the expense of their friendship with Cope. So I don't foresee them going Cope and Christian Cage as a heel tag team if it's soon. If it's not anytime soon, then maybe.
Well,
You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure this is FTR's last run in their last year.
Okay.
So they can be done and finish the company by then. By the time
That's true.
the
Well, they
EC reunion really pops off, right?
They did say that is their last contract, I think, if I remember that correctly.
So last year with AEW for sure, but they might even be retiring soon too. Maybe they'll do the odd indies every now and again, but I think from a full-time schedule, they're probably retiring soon, I would think. Just based, they haven't checked with me, of course, but, just from what my 30-plus year intuition.
Of course.
Well, there you go. Grand Slam Mexico, great show to check out when you get the chance and everything. And of course, it's building up to AEW All In, which we will have a special schedule of coverage for for Collision, for Dynamite, and for and for All In as well. We'll figure that out. We'll announce it as well so that you can be a part of it and check us out and watch some fun AEW wrestling with us. We'll be back after these promotional considerations, but when we come back, a couple of quick fire topics that I've got over here on my list of news for the week here in the professional wrestling circles. So yeah. See you after the other side of the break.
Under all the lights, with only everyone. He's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on Newstalk Saga 960 AM. Lextan at Lextan Media. Ringside Heat at Ringside_Heat. Colin Dodge at Risen72 and at CanJiracast. That's Can with a C. And Chico with a C at Coco Collects is where you can find him. And rapid fire topics right now. But first off, we are going. First off, I'm just gonna say it again. Yeah, sorry, Chico. That we knew nothing about Abyss.
Chris Parks, I'm so sorry.
You are the TNA expert.
I'm so ashamed of my colleagues.
And Colin has nothing to say over here. Anyway,
I mean, every time I talk about AEW, I see eyes glass over, but whatever, it's fine.
To each their own.
There you go. We understand each other more. We're better friends now, Chico.
Yes,
there you go.
It's this other bald dude that I don't know about.
Right?
Yeah.
Jose was right this whole time. We should have seen it.
Well, in that case, you can't see me. Anyway, yeah. For those of you listening, I just held up my John Cena hat. Anyway,
yeah, because they can't actually see you. So there you go.
Exactly. Exactly. So, rapid fire questions before we end the show over here. Let's. All right. So, Night of Champions. A lot of issues with coming every single year, and it's not just the politics.
Oh, he's going there right away.
But
okay.
For instance, WWE production employees that traveled early for Night of Champions were reportedly stuck at the airport in Qatar. And the question is and the question is, should Night of Champions get postponed? Real quickly.
Yes.
Okay. Quick reason.
People's safety, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Chico.
It's a hot zone. It's not worth the risk.
I'm inclined to agree with Colin. However, I can't say I'm indifferent about it. I'm leaning more towards let's postpone it or put it in an American venue instead. But part of their people are there already, and apparently they will be far away from any possible violence. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. So next topic over here, LA Knight. Looks like Kevin, yeah, exactly. Kevin Nash has seemingly changed his tune about LA Knight, saying that he gave him a lot of heat or a lot of ish, that he was a copycat and everything else, but he actually does really appreciate him being a solid hand to people like him, and he's one of the guys that he would definitely give a world title run to, but the only problem is he's a babyface. What do you guys think about what Kevin Nash is saying about that?
I mean, I think LA Knight can kind of go back and forth depending on who the opponent is.
Yes.
I think how his character is built, at least the way I see it. So I think, yeah, I mean, why not have him go after the non-disputed title, or the disputed title, one that Gunther's hanging in front of Goldberg right now. Yeah, have him get that one for a while. See what happens.
Oh, that's an interesting conversation right there. Saturday night's main event in a couple of weeks, I guess. You know what, man? LA Knight, I'm a little up and down on him. Right now, I think he's kind of he's just very mid. Very, very much a mid Carter.
Excuse yourself, MJF.
He is not. He is not among the people that I think of when I think top tier right now. He used to be. He used to be on the cusp for me. Right. But he has not cracked that glass ceiling or whatever it is, whatever you want to.
He's fallen under it again. Right.
Yeah. And he's still underneath it, and now a little bit further down. I think he can still get a world title run, whether it's heel or face, but time's a ticking. He's not a spring chicken.
Yep. All right. Well. Here's why I differ from you. I think he is in the right time right now because people are still wanting it, are still wanting him to get to get past that glass ceiling over there. And I think that if there's any time, if there's any time that yes, well, the time is now. That LA Knight should should get a title sometime soon. I don't think that he's gone down the ladder. I think he actually is been pretty consistent on where he is right now, and I think that getting involved in the distractions as he did last Friday night, he kept himself, or they kept the LA Knight character in the conversation for all of that. So, yeah. And one more over here. CM Punk referring to Liv Morgan as his WWE MVP for the year. What say you guys?
To me, she's the anchor of the women's division in the past year. By circumstance or whatever it is, that's up for debate. I'll let everyone else chew on that. But, I mean, Rhea Ripley was out because of injury. Other people were out. Now, unfortunately, Liv Morgan herself is out, and I think looking at Evolution coming up, the night after All In, I think, I think they're going to really have to pivot a lot of things because of Liv Morgan's injury. I think when she went down to that shoulder injury, unfortunately, and I wish her well and a speedy recovery, I think it threw a monkey wrench in several creative plans leading up to Evolution. So I think it brought to my attention how important she is to that locker room right now.
Well, it also shows that, of course, injuries happen at any time and for any reason, and always at the worst time.
Random move too, by the way. Yeah. Random move too, not even anything big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's routine. The kind of thing. I mean, look at how many ankles AEW has claimed. Get better soon, Buddy Murphy, please.
Yes, please. And
for too long.
His recovery is taking longer than he wanted. But anyway, this is where you have to have your depth of locker room, because you have, as much as you can plan for this, you have to have somebody who's ready there to take the opportunity, right? I mean, how many careers are there because somebody was injured and they were there at the right time and that kind of thing, right? So as for being the MVP for this year, yeah, I can't argue that. Certainly, why not? I think for the last few years, her and Rhea have been interchangeable in that role as kind of the reason to watch the women's division. Rhea for a lot longer, for sure. But yeah, Liv Morgan really coming in like this last hurrah with her and everything she's doing with whatever they're called. It's been great.
Judgment Day.
There you go. That pay-per-view, yes.
I still remember watching The Undertaker beat Hulk Hogan at WWE Judgment Day. The first time you heard the big red evil devil music, but without the lyrics, which is great. So,
well, hold on. Was Judgment Day also the event pay-per-view back then when the triple threat happened between The Rock, Kurt Angle, and The Undertaker?
That was Vengeance.
That was Vengeance.
Oh, Vengeance. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oops.
The only reason why Vengeance is popular is because of that match.
Well, there was also this other match where Chris Jericho defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night to become the WWF Undisputed Champion.
Was that the same Vengeance?
No,
or the Vengeance the year before?
It was the Vengeance 6 months before or 7 months before. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. There you go. Well, that's Ringside Heat. We remember the things that you probably forgot. Then we just went on a nostalgia trip right there. Thank you to Chico. Thank you to Colin. Thank you to you for all of you listening here on the radio, on Spotify, and eventually on YouTube. My name is Lex Tan. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat. We'll talk to you next week, and we will. I'm hoping to get. I'm hoping to get a great guest on the show here, who I met in the Indies a couple of weeks before. But we'll see how that works with their schedule. We will be back with more wrestling talk, and AEW is going to be coming up here, as well as WWE Evolution and Saturday night's main event. Going to be a big weekend of wrestling again coming up. But then again, all these weekends have been very big weekends for wrestling for how many years now?
Yeah, sure. Hold on a second. I just want to remind you as well that Abyss is a TNA Hall of Famer. Okay, there you go.
All right, tune in soon for my Abyss tribute show.
Yes. Ringside Heat. We remember the things you've probably forgotten.
Or didn't even know.